Hi, this is the Bratz Boys Club, and I am Jesse, and today I'm going to introduce you to another one of my Bratz Boys. I'm very excited about this Bratz Boy in particular because he is a standalone Bratz Boy. What that means, actually, in my language, because I invented that, it means that sometimes we've got a Bratz Boy that comes along in a specific year, and he is just by himself. Um, he is also a new Bratz Boy, meaning he's not one of the original five. So his name is going to be, of course, different because he's new. He's going to be part of the club. I believe I've got a couple or three more or some kind of different number of those around, and they may or may not have be or maybe already on video. But this one happens to be one of those cases where we've got a Bratz Boy that shows up and it's a standalone series collection Bratz Boy with a new name and a new face and a new theme. And without further ado, here is the Bratz Boy Bryce. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, just go ahead and comment and let me know how you pronounce this. Bryce is spelled B-R-Y-Z as in cat, E, Bryce. And so this is Bryce, and he belongs to the Hot Summer Dayz, Days with a Z at the end, collection or series from 2005. I really don't know much about this collection, as much as I know about some of the others, because I really was not familiar with this Bratz Boy at all. Him and a few others, like I said, they're standalones, so they show up and they're by themselves. And the collection, of course, I believe there are a couple or three of maybe 4 or 5 of the Bratz girls, but just one Bratz Boy. When I saw him available for purchase at a collectible price at the auction website that I'm frequenting right now, I was very excited because even though he was a little too expensive for my budget, and yes, he was extremely expensive for my budget, I still wanted to take a leap and make sure to get my hands on him because he just looks hot. He looks very sexy, very gorgeous, very stunning, unlike my Sun-Kissed Summer collection Bratz Boys. He's not bare-chested, of course. You know, he's very conservative. He still looks like he's a beach guy. He's a beach guy. He's a summer kind of guy, and it looks like he may also be a surfer, as there's a surfboard here for him. But he is very incredible. I just love the long hair for him. I love the long hair. His long hair looks gorgeous. I love blonde long hair. In general, I have a thing for blonde hair, bleached blonde hair, but this is just incredible. His hair is just gorgeous. It's stunning. And the fact that he's a beach buff, he's a waves kind of guy, he's a surfer, looks like a surfer, and may even act like one. I mean, just take a look at that surfboard. It is amazing to own him. Like I said, he was expensive. I believe he was one of 3 or 4 that were incredibly expensive. But it was worth it because there is a limited number of these going around, and I really had to have him. So I saw him available at this auction website, and I thought, well, I really need him, I want him, and I have to have him now. So I had to get him, purchase him outright, and then decided that, okay, well, he's going to be part of my collection because I cannot wait to have him. And another reason, of course, the main reason why I wanted him as part of my ever-growing collection of Bratz Boys is because I have a very soft spot for standalone Bratz Boys. To me, if I can get my hands on a standalone Bratz Boy from a standalone collection or series, a Bratz Boy who is new, and from a series or collection or series that is new, and we're talking about somebody totally different, totally not the first 5, I am game and totally there. Of course, we're talking about somebody with the name Bryce. Bryz as in cat E. That is by itself amazing and epic and incredible, and oh my god, totally in love. Like I said, this is a 2007 series or collection, and there's just him. There is no other boy. I believe there are 5 girls, so 5 Bratz girls, but I really don't care about that. All I care about is Mr. Hottie, super epic, oh my god, stud, Bryce. So, 2007 was still a good year for them. They still had a lot. They were, of course, downsizing, and of course, the Bratz Boys were going to be the first ones to do so. So, right here, I believe he came in with a card that is hiding somewhere in here in the box. Let me see if I can. Okay, there we go. So the card, which is right there, that's the card. It's a collectible card. Was one of the items, one of the accessories that came with him. Of course, everything fell over, which is expected because everything falls over, and I can account to that. Some of my Bratz Boys purchased at retail back in 2005 have those things all over the place. That's just normal. It's gonna happen. And of course, our classic biggest issue item that floats about and around and everywhere and just dances all over the box is the comb. Right there, we've got the comb right there. Yep, all over the place. So that was also another one of the accessories. The one accessory I really dig and I think is the most interesting and amazing, yes, you guessed it, of course, is the surfboard. I think is the most amazing surfboard ever. It looks like it's a pastel yellow. It's not really sharp, really deep kind of yellow. It's more like a very vanilla kind of yellow, which looks pretty cool. The design is also very wicked. So I love his accessories. I totally love the accessories he came with. They were not that many, so I was a little unhappy with that. But it's okay. It's okay because 2007 was already a year where, Bratz was sort of like downsizing a little bit with some of the collections and some of the series. So I really think that this was part of like what they were trying to do. Not everything was being downsized, but I'm pretty sure that the Bratz Boys being the Bratz Boys, they were going to be downsized anyway. As I said before in some of my other videos, which was completely unfair in my opinion, but it is true. The Bratz girls were the most popular of the list, the items of the product line, so they got the most attention, and they were, of course, the most invested on. And the Bratz Boys were not, so they were not invested on as much, or at all, sometimes. So probably the 2007s were sort of like the beginning of like the end for like the best for the Bratz Boys, I'm thinking. But either way, Bryce is a very, very sexy, very amazing addition to the Bratz Boys. I don't really understand why we never went further with this. Why MGA didn't really give. I believe there is another Bryce from another standalone collection or series that I have not been able to get my hands on yet. I believe it's like the secret date or something. I'm not really sure. We're going to elaborate on that if I'm ever able to get him from that other series or collection, if I am able to get him. So this is it. This is him for the 2007 Hot Summer Dayz. Dayz being, spelled D-A-Y-Z. Hot Summer Dayz. And like I said, he comes in with a couple of things here and there. The most coolest things. I really dig his accessories, even though they're minimal, especially by this time. The seller kept the box as much mint as they could, just like mine. This actually looks better than mine. Like I said, most of my boxes look horrible. Extremely horrible. For an enthusiast, I was really never interested in keeping everything or anything mint. And of course, I was moving things around all over the place when I was moving things in my bedroom. So, my boxes are very awful to look at. But this one looks like the enthusiast or collector slash seller, they tried to keep it as much as they could mint. Like I said, some of the casualties you see there are going to happen. Like the plastic is not glossy anymore, it's not clear. And of course, the things are going to be everywhere. They're going to fall off, and especially when you send items over through the mail, like he was sent. Sometimes it's stuff that's going to happen. Things are going to fall off. What I'm really happy is the box didn't suffer much, and actually at all any damage. So I'm really happy about that. I'm going to do this gently so I don't really drop that surfboard too much. But other than that, the box looks good. The box looks good, and I'm really excited about the fact that the box doesn't really have that much damage on it. It is, and it does look like it has some wear and tear, some shelf wear and tear. So it's not perfect. Like I said, it's not in mint condition. Most boxes are not, and like I've said before, over and over again, definitely mine are not. But that was the least of my worries with the box. I was really just hoping that this Bratz Boy actually just had a box that I could have him in, and I'm very happy that he at least has that. I'm gonna try to go as gentle as possible. I really don't want that surfboard moving too much because I actually like it where it is. So let's cross our fingers here and hope that he does fine with me moving him around and showing him over like he is some kind of toy. Now he's a collectible, so I'm trying to go as careful as possible. But either way, so one thing, and this is another thing that I love about Mr. Bryce, is the fact that the art, and I actually think the surfboard might have moved. One thing I love about him, another thing that I love about him is also the box. The box has some really cute, really interesting art. It's both plastic and cardboard. The plastic showcase in the front right here, and then you've got the cardboard in the back. And then you've got here a little bit of an introduction to Mr. Bryce, and you've got a little bit his picture, of course. And then you've got a little picture of the background where he's going to be hanging out and doing his thing in the beach front. You see a little bit of, you see a couple of drinks there, beach drinks with the beach theme with them. And you've got that little stand right there with that little, whatever you want to call it, that beach little umbrella thing, whatever it is, totally beach themed. And then of course you've got the name of Mr. Bryce, and him looking all cool and chill, with his little sandals, his shorts, his t-shirt. So it's just a very incredible art, cartoony kind of art that looks really interesting. So I'm totally in love with it. I'm totally in love with the art and totally in love with Mr. Bryce. He looks spectacular. I really, really love and enjoy the fact that I'm going to get to add him to, specifically I'm going to have him really close on the shelf with my Sunkissed Summer Collection Bratz Boyz, because he's also a surf dude. He's a surf guy. So I want to have him where the other guys are. I want to have my Beach Boys together. So here he is again. And the cardboard cutout decorative of the box, his picture is there right once again with the title of the collection or series, Hot Summer Dayz with a Z at the end, and then of course the Bratz Boy logo over here at the top. And but he is just amazing. I just love everything about this Bratz Boy. He's looking spectacular. Like I said, the most appealing feature of him, to me, everything of course is perfect and everything appeals to me, but the hair is spectacular. The hair is excellent. I love it. I have a thing for long hair on guys. I just love it so much. I mean, I love guys with any kind of hair, even without hair. But when it comes to dolls, and I'm very particular about my Bratz Boys, I want my guys to have hair. I don't care how short, as long as they have hair. So I have opted by not purchasing another Bratz Boy that may not have hair. I have nothing against anyone who doesn't have hair, but or a doll in particular that doesn't have hair, but I just want my Bratz Boys to have some kind of hair. And so with the Bratz Boys, I'm very, very demanding when it comes to hair. They've got to have hair. And I love their hair, whatever color it is, whatever texture it is, whatever length it is, you know, if it's long, if it's short, if it's combed, if it's, you know, all over the place. I really don't care as long as they have hair. I've had a couple that arrived that have some hair problems. I think I mentioned that, or may not have mentioned that. I should mention that at some point. I do have some that arrived with hair problems that might be from factory, but I'm not sure. It could be. But either way, so this is my 2007 Hot Summer Dayz, Dayz with a Z at the end, Bryce. And Bryce, of course, let me get this straight here so I can see if I can spell this right. B-R-Y-Z, not Z, B-R-Y-C-E, as in C as in cat, Bryce. So this is my 2007 summer, Hot Summer Dayz, Bratz Boy, and I just really couldn't wait to get him. When he arrived, I was so crazy, going crazy over him. In the picture, he did look a little different because the collector's card was still stuck right there, and the surfboard was still, I believe it was connected there, or like that. So, and the comb was where it should be. So it was a little different than what I saw on the photos. But like I said, I really don't worry about that because I know that for most of these items, stuff like that is going to come off and it's going to float about in the box anyway. And then, of course, with the awful trip that these guys have to go through the mail, it doesn't really shock me. The seller or enthusiast or collector did as much as they could when they, you know, shipped it, when they send it over, and I could never really blame them for him arriving in this state and not looking exactly like the photos, because eventually things are going to fall off. So I really can't complain about that, because even my original 5 Bratz Boys have items that are now floating about in the box. And then, of course, the other 3 that I purchased later on at retail price, I've got one that also has an item that just fell off now, and it's floating all over with everything else on it, except the doll, of course. So there's really no issue there. There's no issue there, and it's totally fine, because what I'm really buying is just the doll with the box and everything inside the box, and as long as everything is there, I am okay. But like I said, I really love him. I really, really love having him and having made him part of my collection of Bratz Boys, because he is just the greatest addition to my ever-growing collection of Bratz Boys. And I just cannot wait to share him with you and to introduce him to you, because he is just the greatest addition to the Bratz line. I know that MGA never really went back to him. Maybe once or twice maybe, but not permanently like they did with the other Bratz Boys. And that's really, really sad. That's really awful, because he was, in my eyes, a winner. He was a winner. He was perfect. He was cool. He was really, really great, and he would have been able to have done an amazing job as a Bratz Boy, looking spectacular and amazing just like he does. And so there he is in all of his glory, my 2007 Hot Summer Dayz Bryce, and I am so happy that I was able to share him with you. And so this is it for my video, and I will be uploading another video soon. But as for right now, this is it for today. That's all. And I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Thank you very much.